Hi. Please take notes, or in some other similar fashion, leverage this transcript. Yes, this can be viewed by way of this link, though it only pertains to this larger support comment. The resources that follow are not on video. So, this class was designed to be the last class of a graduate degree. Where you stand should rightly feel as distant to your bachelor's as kindergarten seemed when you entered high school. Do you know what separates graduate courses from baccalaureates? Research. Much more research. You know, when people, no, let's stick to the script, which I will expect on every assignment except bongos and quizzes. More about that in a moment. This is not just any class, as it pulls together managerial organization, project management, change management, leadership, salesmanship, public relations, human resources, negotiation, and more. I want to welcome you to our class. I also want to draw your attention to every week having a new announcement posted. Now, I'm not going to clutter this up. Again, stick to the script, Frank. And most will have a video embedded from me. All the announcements are to be paid attention to as any other part of this course. Attenzione. In no particular order, every deliverable is one deliverable. Okay? If there is a chart associated, or a spreadsheet, or something else, and that paper's due, embed the chart. There is no assigned writing so long as to warrant an appendix. All writing in PowerPoints must be APA formatted. All writings and PowerPoints. If there are any questions, review the APA materials in the announcements. And of course, you can always reach out and ask questions. In fact, it would not be a bad idea to review this even if you think you know better. Please proofread and edit and use Grammarly, spell check, etc. Page counts, slide counts, even timing will be paid attention to. And just remember, editing is a professionalism skill. Cover pages and reference pages do not count in a page count. Every deliverable, including discussions and replies, requires references. The exceptions include your first bongo, quizzes, and certifications. Every reference should be cited, and vice versa. References, as per APA, need to be in alphabetical order and have hanging indents. If you do not know what a hanging indent is, please either look it up or review my template. Module 6 is a video of you embedded in a PowerPoint presenting an investor's pitch. I need to see you presenting, as it is an investor's pitch. I expect exactly that. If you think that there might be an issue, start talking with me now. Don't wait until week 4 or 5. I don't think I'm going to be able to. No. You have a bongo due this week, as you do the bongo this week, think about that. All writings are Word documents, no PDFs. Every assignment you turn in should be formatted thusly: last name first, first name last, assignment number. For example, Jones, Sally, 1-3. Work turned in by Sunday after midnight is late. I will grade late work Monday and Tuesday. By Wednesday, I'm expected to zero out any assignment not yet turned in. If you need me to work with you some random week, have documentation attached to your email, and accommodation made through the university is always honored. The last bullet referred to working late. And here's a quick thought about working ahead. Quizzes and certifications are fine to accomplish in advance. And working ahead is otherwise okay as well, within reason. By about 1 module is a good pace. Much beyond that, and you may be sacrificing this insight or that. Remember, the course scaffolds on itself. There's nothing to gain on my end of things, if you are, being 2 or more modules ahead, especially when you might have blown past several important concepts to do so. Now, having said that, let me reiterate. By the way, early, the week it is due, is appreciated. I get to grade it before the whole tsunami of assignments come in. A fair heads up now. There are 2 insights in this class that I teach you myself, not directly spelled out in the course material, though implied. Your grade in the associated assignments will reflect whether you paid attention to this alert and sought out the necessary expressions. Let me be clear. One has to do with executive retreats. There will be an assignment fairly soon seeking your feedback on how to bond a group of executives. All the pertinent references will apply, as do insights such as seeking leaders, etc. However, I am rather insistent on this particular expression within the business world writ large. Executive retreats have been around since the 60s and 70s, and they are established all over the world. It is not uncommon to see executives with big egos that need some shaking up, that need support in being part of a team, that are accustomed to delegating, being brought into that kind of dynamic. Usually done in nature settings, these professionally facilitated experiences confront fears through activities such as whitewater rafting, ziplining, rock climbing, and the like. The trust bond we seek is too important not to take advantage of executive retreats. You can use one of your own research or poke around one of the offerings that I make a short list of elsewhere in this first week's announcements. And please give us a flavor of what your folks will experience that led you to your choice. The other significant item that I contribute as appropriate response to the curriculum has to do with the employee size of various biopharmaceuticals. You will be called to weigh a best cultural fit with another enterprise. And I'm convinced we are better off pairing with a company that has a ratio in employee size that does not deviate beyond 5 to 1 or 1 to 5. There are a handful, more than a half a dozen, where the ratio is 1.5 to 1 or 1 to 3 and so forth. So it's not like you don't have choices. There's a nice handful of choices. This is important for several reasons, not the least of which is that we need our board to approve of the said other company. The board would never approve of a company monstrously larger, as they know that company would keep the intellectual property and dismantle the rest of us. Further, similarly sized, we can enter all negotiations on a relatively even playing field, thereby able to advocate for policies, procedures, and the like. And while there are other opportunities and configurations that would encourage us in this direction, like the increased ease of being able to swap department members little by little, or extending transition time for part of a department based on a project, and the like. One last truly significant value in staying close in size points to a greater possibility of keeping as many employees as possible. Like the bullet points out above, please keep these considerations in mind when they come up. This may also be a good time to point out that along the way you'll accomplish a Gantt and a fishbone, both of which should also appear in your final. You may notice that surveys are an easy go-to. However, you can burn out employees by surveys alone. Try to keep in mind and implement all the various kinds of surveys, town halls, focus groups, and the like, and leverage any other channel of communication you deem to be appropriate. Apply feedback loops where possible. Communication is the pixie dust, the magic that will aid you in accomplishing your goals. If you can get all of your management to be available and transparent and updated daily on progress, along with the likes of town halls, buy-in, and retention are greatly diminished as issues. You may recall that at the end of any given course, you are asked to report on some skills that you've derived from the course. Let me give you a sneak peek. These are just some of what has been reported. Strategy in thinking, decision-making, change management, and leadership. Leadership generally, and with an eye towards change management. Better management of time, organization, and preparation. Communication, surgically listening and speaking. Analysis, including data, risk, and attrition. Sensitivity to stakeholder needs and engagement. There are a variety of models, particularly Kotter's change model. Context and content in the face of organizational change. Forming a guiding coalition, and more. Again, welcome to this glowing capsule of passage. Pace yourself so your excellence can shine, and be attentive to particulars and see to it. And I'll see you in the classroom.